I went to the Pac-Man Shine On event that was happening in Los Angeles, celebrating 44 years of Pac-Man. We're talking about 44 years, the year of 1980 in which Pac-Man first arrived in the arcade world, and ever since then, it's been part of video game history. So come and join me in which I share my experience of the LA Pac-Man Shine On event. Let's get started. So the first thing that I did was I actually took the train to go to the Shine On event because it was actually very transportation friendly, public transportation friendly, and I actually got a ticket for Sunday, May 26th, because it was a 2-day event, so Sunday was the day that I was available. There was already a line for me, but it wasn't too bad. I actually was already in the front of the line, but overall the line was moving pretty good. And once I got in front, I registered and they actually gave me a wristband. So the wristband that you're seeing right in front of you was a light up wristband that has the Pac-Man ghost, and it had like 4 different colors. I chose blue. Once I got the wristband, I walked through the corridor, and immediately on the entrance, it sets ready on the top of the door. And once you go inside, it was completely dark, but you can kind of see around. There was just a bunch of walls that you were hitting, but that's when I realized that they were also showing or kind of projecting the sound of the Pac-Man arcade noises. So we're talking about like the Pac-Man noise, the waka 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 thing, right? So that's when I realized you're actually in a Pac-Man maze, just like the arcade machine, which was pretty awesome. Once you got out of the maze, you actually got into the showroom in which it was just Pac-Man mania. You saw everything of Pac-Man. We're talking Pac-Man different types of games. We're talking about Pac-Man different style of athletics. We're talking about Pac-Man freebies and just everything to do with Pac-Man. So the first thing that I did was actually went to go get my free t-shirt. So I went to the line and you actually had a choice of 4 different designs of 6 different colors. They were making the t-shirt based on the order that you made at that very moment. And it was pretty cool just seeing all the designs. I actually chose the black and purple design. So I'm actually wearing the Pac-Man shirt that you're seeing right in front of you. It was pretty cool. Once after I got that t-shirt, I went to the next freebie, in which was Yogurtland. Yogurtland being sponsored by Pac-Man, in which you actually had 2 different types of frozen flavors and you get the choice of 2 toppings. So I chose the strawberry mango with the toppings of gummy bears and sprinkles, and you actually had the choice of 3 different types of Pac-Man themed spoons, which was pretty awesome. And I can tell that ghost was hungry for that frozen yogurt. After that, I got another freebie, in which was a picture that you could actually be sent to your phone or to your email or any social media, in which kind of commemorates the day of the Pac-Man Shine On event that was happening in Los Angeles. After that, it was just basically fun time. Let me tell you, when I say that there was every type a Pac-Man themed game, that's what I meant. We're talking about air hockey, in which you're basically playing air hockey, but on the bottom of what you see on the surface, you see Pac-Man, right? Then you also see different types of Pac-Man themed games, kind of playing like Pac-Man, but played in a very different way. And then you also see some other forms of playing Pac-Man, in which, for example, kind of like the carnival games or the Chuck E. Cheese games, where you're like rolling the ball into the hole to make sure that you get the highest points. Then you also saw the classic game, in which you actually played Pac-Man how it first played back in the 1980s and the really cool arcade machine. The only cool thing is you didn't have to spend quarters because it was actually free. And there was also other Pac-Man games, in which included Galaga and some of the other past arcade games that came with Pac-Man that were based on Bandai Namco. But not only that, they were also promoting a recently released Pac-Man game called Pac-Man The Mega Tunnel Battle Chomp Champs, in which is actually released to all different types of consoles. We're talking about PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, Steam, you name it, in which you actually can play locally and also online, in which is basically, again, a battle royale in which you are a Pac-Man trying to clear your own different type of maze, but you can actually go to different mazes and you can actually chomp another Pac-Man to make your Pac-Man even bigger. It's actually a pretty cool type of event, and everybody was actually having fun. I actually tried it. It was pretty fun. I think I'm probably gonna download that game later on. Everything I'm talking about, just the aesthetics of Pac-Man that you see everywhere, it was pretty cool. Everybody was enjoying themselves and just talking to them. It really brings perspective that games can bring people together, especially arcade games, because I was telling people how I first played Pac-Man, in which I remember going to the laundromat, in which I was helping, my family, my mom and my sister, doing laundry. And if we had any extra quarters left over, those were actually used to play in the arcade machines. And guess what? The very first arcade machine I ever played was Pac-Man. And I always remember that awesome jingle. You remember the jingle? You put that coin inside and then you hear the jingle. Yes, that's exactly right. It was that freaking awesome. And then I just played hours and hours on end of it. And any game that came with Pac-Man, we're talking like Galaga, Dug Dug Dug, and all of those other awesome ones as well. So it was pretty cool just talking Pac-Man nostalgia with everyone. So the last thing I actually wanted to do is actually take a picture with the big guy himself. We're talking about Pac-Man. And it took a while because Pac-Man would sometimes come, every now and then, and it would be really tough to get a picture because there would be a huge line of people trying to take pictures. But I finally managed to find him, and he was freaking awesome. He was freaking awesome. He was just like doing his little dance, and he was happy. He was just the man of the show. He was like, this is the guy that made a lot of video gamers be gamers. So I just want to say thank you so much, Pac-Man. Thank you, Bandai Namco, for inviting me to the LA Shine On event celebrating 44 years of Pac-Man, and that another 44 years continues of this legacy. So what about you guys? What did you guys think about the LA Shine On event? Would you be interested in going to one that could be happening on your city? Would you go to the next one if it was available? And was Pac-Man the very first arcade game that you ever played? Write your comments below. And if you like the content of this video, please hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, hit the notifications so you know when future videos are available. Alright everyone, I hope you enjoyed this video, and again, stay awesome.